Good day. Today we're going to be installing taillights that our friends over at American Modified sent us for this 2014 F150. Unboxing of these taillights so you can see exactly what you get when you order one of these off of their website. Neat.
We don't need it.
It's like Christmas, but it's January.
We're not gonna question. Look at that.
So pretty.
Aren't that so pretty? Oh wow.
It's all smoked out too. You can't even see it. When you order these taillights, you'll obviously get not one, but two headlights.
I hope you get two.
I hope. And you'll get hardware that'll you'll get hardware for the application.
Help you to secure wires and the extra diodes and everything that you get in the system.
So for this job, you really can either use a ratcheting wrench or socket, or if you have the ability to get an impact, you can use this too. To disassemble it, you'll need an 8 millimeter. You have 2 bolts, one up here, one down here, and then you just pull off. So we'll start by removing the 8 millimeter. Keep your bolts somewhere safe that you won't lose them. And you don't have to do it. You don't have to do this, but for my own personal sake, I disconnect the negative lead terminal on battery anytime I'm dealing with anything electrical, just so nothing bad can happen. Now we take the taillight, and it's going to seem like something you're not supposed to do, but it is okay. You can grab it, just pop it off, just like that. Now you have 3 connections right here that you need to take off. So you can either do it one way because it supplies you with new bulbs and everything. So connections off is you twist and they'll just pop out. Twist, pop out, twist.
Angle is a factor sometimes.
Twist and pop out. Alright, don't do it. One taillight has now been removed, and now we can start dealing with actually taking off the connections to
The
bulbs, because we already have bulbs supplied in here. Still double check just to make sure, but you never know. Alright, so we got one bracket installed, and we'll actually go by step how to do this. With the equipment that you're given right here, you have multiple ways of installing these brackets, whether you want to drill them into your vehicle or not. But this way, you have these black tiles right here are very strong, very sturdy. You can clip them onto a certain part of the truck that we will show you in a minute. But you'll have a nut, a bolt, you'll screw the nuts in placement where you see, screw the bolts in placement that you see, screw the nut behind it to fastly secure it, and then when we are going to go install these taillights, you will watch us while we clip and lock onto the actual part of the truck that will keep these secure out the way and make sure you are not causing any danger to yourself if anything were to happen. After you see matching the brackets as we see fit, where you see the bolts and the black tabs, we're now going to take this taillight and move it over to, in this case, the driver's side to start installing into the electrical fittings that you see. Like we said before, these black tabs are very strong, very durable. They are not going to go anywhere once you fully lock it in place. Make sure the bottom goes into the bottom and the top goes to the top.
But as you can see here, these things, that's not going anywhere. Top to bottom, top to top. Top one's just a little bit of a tighter fit, but as long as you get it in there good, shouldn't have any problems. But it's getting in there good, that is the problem. I know what I said. There we go. Now that is all connected and fitted up. All we got to do is just plug it into plugs. That's always the fun part. So you hear the click, you know you're good. Of course, put your backup light in the hole where it's supposed to go.
Which in this case would be the middle orientation. There are 3 inlets, best way to put it. They're not going to give you a reverse light bulb. So if you need to replace any bulbs, whether it be the third brake light or the reverse light, if it's going out,
Need you to hold this up for a sec, please. Thank you.
If you need to replace them, replace it all while you're at it. So now after you see the connection, the electrical pins connected in, now what we're going to do is align these 2 plastic tabs. One goes up here, the bottom one goes down here, and there's also metal tabs that we will show you in the next one that goes into it. And basically all you do is just make sure the wires are in there neatly, slide it in, and press in. Don't punch it, don't hurt it.
And bada bing, it is all installed.
After putting your electrical connections in, pressing it together, you rescrew your 8mm bolts, and that's really it for this side. Now, boyos, here's what we can do. We can do one of 2 things. We can install the next tail light and then together, or we can turn on the car to make, or turn on the vehicle to make sure everything works.
We always want to make sure and test your stuff before.
All right, we're testing. Let's test.
We have popped it open. We have plugged it back in, and as you can see, she's got life.
Ooh, that is pretty.
Even through the plastic, you could just tell the smoked out color, the nice bright red LEDs. Oh, she'd be looking good. And as for a comparison, that is the new one that we installed. Here is the old OEM part. While still okay looking, in my personal opinion, you can't beat that smoky look. All right, so I'm going to go over the installation of the brackets, how we put it together, and how we got everything set up when we installed the driver's side here. When you open up your headlights, you're going to get the main unit here with the actual bulbs hardwired in. These aren't your normal ones where you could just replace the bulbs out. That will require a little bit of extra work on that. So when we get the connectors and the old bulbs out, what you're left is the actual wiring that would be for the bulb that would attach into the actual electrical unit. You're going to get 2 packs of these hardwire pieces. We've already went through one. What you'll be left over with when you do the installation the way that we do it is the screws that you would use to drill into the vehicle. I'm going to show you the way to do that without drilling into the vehicle. When you open up the pack, you've got the 2 brackets, which are used to actually hold these electrical components onto it, so that way when you install it, it'll be up and out of the way. Alongside, what we're going to be using is the bolts and nuts that will use to attach these pieces to them, and then these black connector pieces, which will be hooked onto here, which we will hook onto the frame inside of the vehicle. These things do not come off, or if they do, they come off with a lot of effort. So you're not going to have to worry about them coming off when you're driving or doing anything on the road.
Or off the road.
On the road, off the road, whatever the case may be. If you knock these things off while off-roading or something, congratulations. You did some hard work.
You totaled your car.
Now, when you're installing these, the holes are lined up to match with the actual pieces here. So you're going to set them up bolt to bolt, hole to hole. Mind you, I have tiny hands, so this helps. If you got bigger meat mitts, getting a pair of needle nose pliers might help you just to get them where you need to go. But you need to do this step just so that way it's easier to get everything installed and hooked up in the vehicle. Unless you have like pure access to the frame without anything else, then go nuts. Figure out where you want to put them. But once you get everything through the holes, just run the nuts through quickly. Give yourself a nice little base. Mind you, these things again are really tiny, so be careful with that. These are also these nylon locking nuts, so once you get everything tightened down, you really shouldn't have any problem. These things should not go anywhere. I forgot. See the piece here, so that way. I don't have ratcheting screwdrivers, I just have a ratchet with a screwdriver bit. Whatever you got works. Pair of pliers, pair of channel locks, whatever the case may be. Hold down the nut. Makes it easier to just go ahead, come over here and tighten it down. You want to get it tightened down so that way it doesn't move. You don't want shaky, rattly stuff unless that's the aesthetic you're going for your vehicle. Once you get everything tightened down, I'll show you once I get this one on here. The easiest way to get these brackets squared away on here is to just take the two. When you go to set it up, make sure you have one facing outwards that'll clip onto whatever part of the vehicle and press it down on there. Now once that's on there, that's not gonna move. It's tight, it's secure, and it's got little teeth on there that digs into the metal on both sides. It's not going anywhere. Well, unless you don't have it on there, but you know. Now, once we get this one on, see, sometimes they go on easy, sometimes they want to be a right pain in the tail. If you need to, flip them over. Get them however you can, just to get them on there. There we go. And once these are on there, they're not going anywhere. And just repeat the process for the other side.
So like we said before, okay, yeah, so pick it up, slot the electrical connectors where they fit, and please mount your brackets, one to the bottom, one to the top.
Make sure the bottom goes on the bottom and the top goes on the top. Don't be like me.
But also for bracket fitment, I got it. For bracket fitment, we actually recommend we put it closer. No, that's not where we put it.
We put it on the outside, so that way, just in case, as the wires are going into the hole, nothing is pressing up against anything, especially the reverse light here. So that way you're not accidentally trying to fight up against it while you're trying to put it in.
Right. As you can see here, we have mounted the tabs up in these locations, so that way as you press in, there's less interference or less chance of an interference.
So now we're just gonna install the last light here, which is just a simple insert and twist. Which is unfortunately a little bit more of a difficult part because it does have less room. But once you get that in, you just gotta push the rest of the wiring back into the framework, which can be a tad difficult at times. But once you get everything in and out the way, don't mind me, I'm just trying to be gentle. I have bad experiences with wiring in the past, so I'm trying to be as careful as I can.
And then once you're done with that, once you're done pushing it in, like we did with the other side, 2 8mm, and
she's good and groovy.
She's good and groovy. We'll come back to y'all when we can actually get this car started so you can see everything. Alright, well. Alright, now that we have fixed up and installed both taillights, let the magic begin. Both taillights work. Love the design for both sides. And now, let there be light. Let there be light!
Brakes good. Good. Passenger or driver? Passenger? Hazards?
All right. Successful install. Again, I want to say thank you to our friends over at American Modify for sending us these taillights and trusting me to install these and show y'all how to do them. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. Let's go.